What's up, everybody? It's AJ. Now, your trailer does a whole lot for you and you rely on it to haul whatever you need to haul. That's why you should take care of it like you take care of your vehicle. So there's some easy maintenance things you can do to keep it running in tip-top shape. For instance, if you have reduced brake power, you might be adjusting your brake controller and overcompensating. So it's getting too much power, which is wearing out the magnet and the brakes a little bit more than you should be over time. So today, we're going to be talking about how to adjust your brakes to make sure that it runs smoothly year after year. We suggest doing this every 3,000 miles or at least once a year. First step's going to be pretty easy. You want to park your trailer on an even surface, disconnect it from the vehicle, also chalk the wheel so it doesn't go anywhere when you're trying to work on it. You're going to need access to your brake assembly, so sometimes on the trailer you're going to have to remove the tire to get to that. Other times there is access on the back, so you won't have to remove the tire. Either way, you're going to want to get a screwdriver or a brake adjustment tool. If you have a drop axle, you're going to need that tool. It's going to be a lot easier with it, and then get started. There's going to be two different types of brakes. You're going to have the ones you can manually adjust and then self-adjustment brakes. Those adjust themselves over time. So the only way to know if they're self-adjusting brakes is to look inside. Generally, there will be a spring wrapped around an adjustment wheel and an adjustment cable running through. And if you look close enough, you may notice that the teeth on the wheel are saw-like instead of flat. There's sometimes a metal plate in the way too to discourage you from adjusting it manually. On the other hand, manual brakes will have the spring underneath the wheel. You can also look and see that there won't be any cables or no metal plates blocking the way for you to manually adjust. The trailer behind me today actually has self-adjusting brakes, so we're not going to be able to show you on there. If we had some sort of display, it'd be way easier to show you. Luckily, we got one, so let's check it out. Now, one of the first things you're going to do when adjusting your brakes is spin your wheel. You see how easily that's moving? That's not good. That means the pads aren't really making contact, which means your brake controller is working overtime and a lot harder to try and stop the wheel in place. And this is why you're gonna need to adjust it so it's not. So for the next part, you need a screwdriver or your adjustment tool. We'll come along the back side of the brake. You're gonna see two openings towards the bottom. Now, if you go back to your trailer on the back of the brake, you might see two rubber plugs here. You can just pry those out, and that's gonna be your entry point to adjust the brakes. And take the screwdriver or your tool and aim for that gear in there. You'll see a spring and a gear. So if you can see the spring, you know the gear is nearby. Once the screwdriver's in place, you can go up or down pushing the gear to adjust the brakes. You can't see a whole lot, but with a flashlight and the right angle, you can see the gear and just make sure you are hitting it and adjusting. What we're doing here is as we move that wheel, the brake pads are expanding outwards, so that's gonna push up against the drum. So eventually it'll be too tight to even move the drum. Now we have it tightened up, and you see how little movement there is. So now that we know it's the tightest point, we're gonna back it off about 10 turns, give or take, and test how it spins from there. Now let's test it out and give it a spin. A lot more movement. You see we're somewhere in between where it's not too hard to spin easily and it's not too loose where it spins a little too long. There is a little bit of resistance applied to it, and that's what we want. Now you're gonna wanna do the same thing for the other brakes, and once those are adjusted, you wanna hook up your trailer back up to your vehicle and test the brakes that way. Now you might have to adjust the brake controller a little bit because if it had a power all the way up, then it doesn't need to hit the brakes that hard anymore, so you can adjust that back down. That's about it. Once you've adjusted them, you know they're working with the hook of the vehicle, you're ready to hit the road. Well, thanks for watching. Hope this helped. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos of ours, we got plenty of content. eTrailer is all about helping our neighbors with whatever problems they have. If it's making install videos to show them how to put a hitch on their vehicle, or answering questions for them from the experts, or even when you call in and ask us questions, we're here to help with your adventure.